Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a little girl named Lily who loved books more than anything in the world. She always wanted a furry friend to play with, but her parents didn't allow her to have one. That was until one day when her parents surprised her with a cute little puppy named Max. Max was a small, fluffy dog with big, curious eyes that made him look like he was always up to something. Lily and Max became instant best friends, and they spent all their time together. They would go on adventures in the park, play games, and snuggle up together to watch movies. One sunny day, Lily and Max decided to go for a walk in the park. As they were walking, Max saw a squirrel and started chasing it. Lily tried to catch Max, but he was too fast for her. He ran through the park, over the hills, and down into a nearby forest. Lily followed Max into the forest, but she soon realized she had no idea where she was. She started calling Max's name, but he didn't come back. Lily was getting scared, and she didn't know what to do. That was until she heard a familiar voice calling out to her. "Hello there, little girl," said a talking tree. "Are you lost?" Lily was surprised to see a talking tree, but she was even more surprised to hear it speak. "Yes," she said. "I'm lost, and I can't find my dog Max." "Don't worry," said the talking tree. "I'll help you find your way back home, and I'll help you find Max too." The talking tree led Lily through the forest, and they searched high and low for Max. They looked under rocks, behind trees, and even in a nearby pond, but Max was nowhere to be found. Lily was getting more and more upset, but the talking tree kept her spirits up. "Don't worry, little girl," said the talking tree. "We'll find Max. We just have to keep looking." Finally, after hours of searching, they heard a familiar bark. They followed the sound and found Max stuck in a bush. He had been chasing the squirrel and had gotten himself tangled up in the branches. Lily was so happy to see Max, and she ran to him and gave him a big hug. "I thought I lost you forever," she said. "Thank you so much for helping me find him," she said to the talking tree. "You're welcome, little girl," said the talking tree. "It was my pleasure to help." As they were walking back home, Lily realized something strange. "Hey, talking tree," she said. "How come you can talk?" The talking tree chuckled. "I'm not really a tree, little girl. I'm a magical being that can transform into anything I want. I just happened to be a tree when you found me." Lily was amazed. She had never met a magical being before, let alone one that could transform into anything it wanted. "Can you show me some of your other forms?" she asked. The talking tree smiled and transformed into a giant butterfly, then into a bird, and finally into a unicorn. Lily was amazed by all the different forms the talking tree could take. As they walked back home, Lily realized that even though she had lost Max, she had gained a new friend in the talking tree. She knew that she could always count on the talking tree to help her whenever she needed it. From that day forward, Lily and Max went on many adventures with their new friend, the talking tree. They explored new worlds, met new creatures, and had all sorts of fun. And even though they never got lost in the forest again, Lily always knew that she had a friend in the talking tree who would help her find her way back home. Years passed, and Lily grew up. Max had gotten old and was no longer able to go on adventures with her. Lily missed Max terribly but knew that he was always watching over her. One day, Lily was walking in the park when she heard a familiar bark. She turned around and saw a puppy that looked just like Max. She couldn't believe her eyes. "Max?" she said. The puppy ran up to her and jumped into her arms. "I'm not Max, but I'm his great-grandson," said a man who was walking behind the puppy. "I saw how much he meant to you, and I wanted to give you something to remember him by." Lily was overjoyed. She hugged the puppy and thanked the man. "I'll take good care of him," she said. Lily named the puppy Max Jr., and they became best friends, just like she and Max had been. She took Max Jr. on all sorts of adventures, and they even visited the talking tree in the forest. The talking tree was thrilled to see Lily and Max Jr. and welcomed them with open arms. Lily realized that even though Max was no longer with her, she had gained a new companion in Max Jr. She knew that Max would be proud of her for taking care of his great-grandson and that he was watching over them from doggy heaven. And so, Lily, Max Jr., and the talking tree continued to go on adventures together, exploring new worlds, meeting new creatures, and having all sorts of fun. Lily knew that even though she had grown up, she would never forget the magic of her childhood, the love of her dog Max, and the friendship of the talking tree.